Oilersnation After Dark begins now.
Well, shit. As the great Ron Burgundy did once say, that escalated quickly. It was there for the taking for the Edmonton Oilers. Very good 40 minutes. A dominant second period from the Edmonton Oilers. And then, snap of the fingers. Multiple unanswered goals from the Dallas Stars, all coming with the man advantage as the Edmonton Oilers can't stay out of the box in that third period. They had a 2-goal lead entering the third period, but unfortunately lose this game by a score of 6-3. Game one's the Edmonton Oilers. We don't want them. We've never been good at them. So, hey, there's lots of reasons to be positive and optimistic. We will unpack them, but of course, that was a collapse of all collapses in the third period for these Edmonton Oilers as they lose 6-3 and go down 0-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Hello and welcome to Oilers Nation After Dark. I'm your host, Bordzy, ONAD. It's a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. This evening, I am joined by one writer at Oilers Nation, Sean Panganiban, Bouchard, and Pangsy. I'll start this one off just reading a direct tweet from our pal Liam Horvin, and I quote, "They really fucked this one up." I could swear that I was happy 30, 40 minutes ago, and then, as I said, snap of the fingers, here we are breaking down an Edmonton Oilers collapse here on After Dark. Pangs, can I get a vibe check first? Because, as I said, plenty of reasons for optimism. Thought the Oilers looked very, very good for 40 minutes. 5v5. The Oilers were outplaying the Dallas Stars, but unfortunately, when you go down and allow the Stars to play with the man advantage, that's what a team like that's going to do. They have skill all over their ice. We talked about some of their depth players not showing up in the playoffs. Well, if you give Tyler Seguin a breakaway, if you give him a couple power play opportunities, they're good enough to find their way out of their rut. Pangsy, vibe check right now. How you doing?
A very conflicted vibe right now. The music sounds good outside. People are dancing, playing bubble hockey, but we just witnessed what the F happened in that game. Bordzy and I, we were comparing notes. We didn't sit beside each other during the game, but one thing that we wrote in the first couple periods was buzzing. The Oilers were buzzing. I underlined mine. He highlighted his. The Oilers were absolutely buzzing and in control in that first 40 minutes. Connor McDavid on that first goal on Leon Draisaitl, when he does a little dipsy doodle spinorama like at the blue line, you know Connor McDavid is feeling it. Then all of a sudden, I'd say carelessness with sticks, and I'm sure we're going to talk about the Bouchard one, but leads to 3 power play goals games, and now we're looking at an Oilers loss.
Undisciplined penalties, and possibly, I still don't know, did that stick hit Matt Duchene in the face or did it not? I've seen 100 angles one way, this way. I have no idea. I'll let the chat answer that question for me, and something tells me I know what they're going to say. I will say, before we unpack this hockey game, I want to kind of preface everything with, that is only one game, people. It doesn't matter if you lose by 6 goals. Doesn't matter if you lose with 0.4 seconds left. It is still one game. Lots to be happy about in this hockey game. Connor and Leon, 1 and 2 of that reasoning there. McDavid shot out of a fucking cannon to start this hockey game. Leon Draisaitl showing the NHL not just a defensive stopper like he was in round 2 against Eichel. And a quick reminder of, oh yeah, I'm the Hart Trophy front runner. Lots to be positive about. But yeah, that was a bad collapse. Let's get caught up in the chat right now because something tells me she's going to be a little spicy. But what I do like, a lot of you in the chat, kind of keeping my same mentality in here. Sadistic Angel, first game teaches us what we need to improve on. Come on, we know Nobby as the series moves along. I'd improve on, keep your fucking sticks down. Try that one. Jeff Skinner, it's okay. Game 1 is not our thing. Stuart Skinner's mustache, keep out of the box, and the Stars will fold like the cheap suit every Texan wears when it's 100 degrees. Getting that one in there as well. Ryan S., one loss ain't going to end the Oilers. Everyone just breathe. Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Relax, everybody. It's going to be okay. Now, Tommy's in the chat. He's Jimmy Butler emo mode. He is a Dallas Stars troll. He says Rantanen owns you guys. He also said Vegas owns you guys. Don't even know if it's so obvious that I should even try and correct that one. But hey, thank you, Tommy, for the subscription, and everybody in the chat. Sick 'em, but sick 'em respectfully, of course, okay? I don't want to have to ban any of you. Dogs, 8:15 this game. He's a beer league goalie. Can only assume who he's referring to. Dubes, I know you're in the back seat right now. Buddy, we are so back. We're ripping apart goaltenders. Number one fan. That call against Kane was bullshit. No high stick there. Bella's in. Oilers decided to switch it up by playing a good first and second period and an awful third period. Not loving that at all. Eyes within. The Oilers completely broke down in all aspects after that first goal in the third period. And hey, they had an opportunity with the man advantage, couple minutes left in that third period, where you turn your big dogs, who were fantastic in the hockey game, and you say, we need you to tie this one up. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done. Mansour Kabor, no one can tell me Dallas was actually good. They got outplayed, and they won on the power play. Oh, here's Tommy where he says Vegas owns you. Let him know, chat. And, of course, win, lose, or draw, we got super chats, and they are all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, a cause very near and dear to all of our hearts. Does awesome research here for cancer research, and then they also do awesome things to support families who their family members are dealing with that deadly disease. Awesome experiences, awesome everything. You guys been awesome all season, win, lose, or draw, and it continues tonight. Austin 279, game one. F it, my ON fam. Let's go for Ben. Now that's the attitude that I'm looking here from Austin. Lead from the front, brother. I appreciate that. Ryan S. 699, one loss in the series is not the end of the world. Oilers will bounce back. Think he meant bounce back in that one as well. Tammy, my queen is in. Win or lose, it's only one game, fam. Stay positive. Stick taps and hearts for Ben. Always cup year. And Tammy, I missed your super chat earlier today on pre-gaming. We love you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and your entire family, because damn it, this chat is a family. Mr. Cates is in, $4.99. That loss hurt more because they were playing so good to start, and then they lost their poop. It's still a cup of yeah with Brett. He had a couple dogs in there too. Dogs are still out. You're not gonna get these dogs to stop barking at any point. Darian, $13.99. I can't be there for Game 6, which the Oilers have won every one. I've been there, unless they lose too. See you all, ON fam, next weekend. I think I hear some dogs though. I hear one in the distance. That must be a service dog because he's producing right now, and he's doing a damn good job. Then Mackay and Dry, he's in here. Bordzy Bars 22. It's a tale as old as time, so here is my rhyme. For us, a game one win must be a crime. PK, not worth a dime. Dry almost killed Heim. Yes, he did. And this loss left a sour taste like a lime. Still a cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah. Thank you, Mackay and Dry. Sometimes we need Bordzy Bars to get us through a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But hey, a lot happened in the hockey game. A lot happened in that third period. No one better to help us break it down than our pal Devan Dubnyk, and his appearances brought to you by Tourism Jasper, because this summer, come on, all your fun starts in the town of Jasper. From hiking trails, paddling wild waters, or sharing laughs by the fire, happiness finds you in Jasper. It's open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. Drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, and maybe, or in my case, definitely stay up late, because your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer as we welcome in legendary former Edmonton Oilers goaltender Devan Dubnyk. Now, don't get me wrong. I yelled stew a lot in this hockey game, but didn't really say it a lot in the third period. But this was a tough one, Dubes, and it's a crazy thing. Momentum in the NHL playoffs doesn't carry over game to game. It definitely doesn't carry over period to period, because in that second period, the Edmonton Oilers put their foot on the neck of the Stars. That building, you could hear a pin drop in there. They had nothing to cheer about, but Dallas, it's a late power play at the end of that second period. They score almost instantly to start that third period. And what do you know? I felt like a different person about 30 minutes ago. The Oilers can't stop a nosebleed on the PK in that third period. As we mentioned, a lot of undisciplined penalties from the Edmonton Oilers. We'll unpack that Duchesne one in a minute. But my question to you, Dubes, I guess, is that a legendary Edmonton Oilers collapse, or is that a Dallas Stars comeback in a clutch moment? I don't know. What is your kind of initial thoughts on the blown lead from the Edmonton Oilers in the final 20 minutes?
I'd say it's a combination. You know, it's a weird game. That's definitely not what we were used to seeing. Just the way the game went, it was almost like it was like too easy in the first two periods. Like everything was going too smoothly. Where we've seen in the past, they've had to battle some adversity throughout the game, and then the guys turn the Jets on and they just take over the game and they go and they end up winning. And this one was kind of weird. I mean, it felt great watching the game. They were absolutely dominating. The scoring chances were there. They hit 3 or 4 posts. There was not really much pushback from Dallas, and it's funny because I thought to myself after the second period, I was like, this is what Dallas does. This is what they've done all playoffs. Think of the series. Think of the first series, Colorado, whatever it was after 3 games. The time leading the series was like 92 minutes for Colorado and like 4 for Dallas, and they were winning 2-1 in the series. And I started thinking about that. It's kind of the same thing. They just like hang around and give up scoring chances, and Ottinger stops them, and then they come back and win in the third period. So I don't know. I didn't feel like a collapse for the Oilers to me, just because it was the PK. And again, I mean, it's unacceptable right now. Like something's got to change. I mean, gosh, I don't know. Like, which one do you want to pick apart? But like the one that kicks it off at the start of the third period, like this is it is such a bad look. It is a wrist shot from the blue line, and you have 4 guys in a line. Like this puck should never, ever, ever get to the net. First of all, you should never look like this ever. You have 4 players in a line right here. Stop. What is that? What is that?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to see that puck if you're one Stuart Skinner.
And, well, I'm going to get on him just to touch on this one. A stationary wrist shot from the blue line on a PK with traffic in front can never get to the net. There's somebody, one of the 4 guys in a line there needs to find a way to get in front of this, because it's not a hard shot. He's standing still. He's all the way out at the blue line. If he takes this shot, it needs to get knocked down. That's just the way it is. Now, the only thing I'll get on Skinner here a little bit is, and this is what I've talked about, like when you're feeling it, when you're feeling the game, and, Skinner was fine up to this. I don't think he had a lot of scoring chances against. I thought he looked fine. I didn't think he looked as comfortable as he did in the previous game, just as far as movement. This is when you start to feel this is like, you have to feel this play as a goalie where the puck, if you can stop it again when they get in the line, when you're right now, when you really can just feel the play happening in front of you, of course he can't see anything here, but you just get the sense, the shot is coming. You have to understand that the only place that the puck can go is the short side. So you don't have to go for this giant push. However, when you're feeling good and you just have those game reads and you can just kind of sense all of this stuff happening in front of you, it would have taken a 3-inch, not even slide here from Skinner, just a 3-inch drop as he goes down to the right and it hits his arm. But he gets screened by 4 different players and 3 of them his, and he kind of just freezes up and goes straight down, and it goes in. But I mean, this is not a look you want to have anyway. But if that's the look you're going to have, the puck can't make it to the net. End of story.
You can literally see in this shot, Doobie, as you mentioned, all you see of the net is, the net. You see nothing of Stuart Skinner. All you see is this net.
Yeah,
and you mentioned, he needs to drop back, obviously, like you mentioned, just drop back, go over to the side. That's all Heiskanen has to shoot at.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can rewind it back a little bit too, but even just so right here, okay, this is passive when he moves up to the point here. So okay, so again, I don't mind. I mean, he comes to the middle first, but there's that kind of just freezing, and that's your sight line. Like you want to work out of that sight line once all the bodies come in. And again, if you do have that sight line, it's a feeling. Obviously, everything happens quickly, but it's a left-handed shot. He's stationary. Your player, which I believe is Connor Brown, is coming out to him. He's coming out, angling him to the outside. He's going to have to shift his body to the left and throw it at the net. Like, all of these factors are pointing to a short side wrist shot, and these are the things that, again, when you're when you're feeling okay, and that's why I didn't think Skinner looked as comfortable and as fluid, and you know, he didn't have the shots to do it. But these things kind of just happen when you're feeling it. But that, you know, he steps over, he's leaning this way. You got 4 bodies on the far side. You got to tell yourself to give yourself a chance on the short side. But again, nitpicking, it's needed to be blocked.
Hey, that's what we do here. So Stuart Skinner, 22 saves on 27 shots, an .815 save percentage, as of course the chat and the box score hunters have already pointed out. I agree with you. I felt through 40 minutes. He was good. He was solid. Wasn't moving the same way as he was kind of in games 4 and 5 against the Vegas Golden Knights. Somebody pointed out in the chat, saw Stuart Skinner arguing with the refs a couple times as well, which just in my brain went, no, I don't like that. I want you to be in your own zone, Stu. So the third period comes around. Obviously, that one gets scored on. The next power play goal was the Rupe Hintz one. And hey, call a spade. That's just an absolute snipe from a power play right on the dot from a very, very good hockey player. Or sorry, that was Mikhail Granlund, not Rupe Hintz. I'm talking about. And then the next goal is the one I want to talk about. So we'll put a pin in the, was it actually a penalty on Matt Duchene? But dude,
I believe it was. I got the exact same chat going with my buddies, and they've sent like 3 different angles of it. So there's just multiple videos that look like nothing, and there's one that he actually gets them.
And either way, when you allow that, when you take that many penalties in the third period and you're letting them score at will like that, hey, you deserve it at that point. But the one I want you to break down for me is that game-winning goal there, the 4th goal that Matt Duchene, of course, he's the one who ends up scoring this one. It's a weird play. Stuart Skinner, I believe it's Rupe Hintz, rips it from the face-off dot here, and then Skinner loses track of the puck, loses his position in the net. I don't know, Dubes. Can you break this one down for me? Because this one was chaotic, sloppy, and had me almost having an aneurysm inside this bar tonight. What did you see on this play?
Yeah, listen, it's good puck movement from Dallas, right? You get it out, you get it moving early here. They bring it back. Like this is good movement, but and who is that falls down? Oh, Stetcher. Stetcher falls down, which kind of screws everything up. I mean, the thing is, you need a player like, I guess it's Stetcher who goes down that would be over there, but like this puck bounces off the wall. There's a lot of time between right now and the time that the puck enters the net. So first off, you're in a tough spot. Stuart Skinner thought he got scored on the initial shot. I don't know if you have a replay from behind the net. He thinks the first shot went in, that it hit the outside of the net and then hit the board. So he's delayed reacting to it because he thinks he got scored on. So he has a pause here, watching you see it come over. And the one-timer's taken, and he slides over. He thinks this is in, so you see how he kind of stops, and then he realizes he's going. Well, now he's kind of turned himself backwards, and he's late. That's where he gets the awkward. You know, if he'd followed it, knew it missed the net, and went, you know, and he doesn't get a good look here. But again, there's bodies in front, but you can see he's flat coming over. He's sliding, and then he's delayed here on his recovery because he thinks the first shot went in. And then he gets up with the wrong leg. He turns himself the wrong way, all because now he's in panic mode. You know, but so I didn't love the look from Stu. I thought it was panicked. I think again, when you're feeling it and you're allowing yourself to see it, he gets a good push on there, but he comes over flat, and then he's just not comfortable. He feels like he got scored on the first shot. But at the end of the day, there's lots of time for this puck to get cleared out. Like I am still confused. Obviously Stetcher fell down, but he's still there, and he gets up. So I don't know. It was just that one was just a weird play. But holy, could you ever feel it coming?
Dude, it was a wave. You could see that one coming from a mile away. If I could bet the Dallas Stars comeback, probably went a good play to do that on one tonight on Bet365. I, on the other hand, would never absolutely do that. I will say so. The detriment to this team right now is the special team, specifically the penalty kill. The power play was good. We'll ask you about that in just a second. Well, it was good on the one opportunity they had and unable to score in the clutch when they needed it most. Dubes, what can they do to improve on the PK? Because this has not been a small sample size. This has been round 1 versus LA, round 2 versus Vegas, and then now it's only one game, but the Dallas Stars scored 3 goals with the man advantage. I don't know what you can do to change up your structure and whatnot. The one thing I can say to give some positivity, Matthias Ekholm might be coming back into the lineup in either games 3 or 4. I do think that would give a big boost to the Edmonton Oilers. The other one I saw being discussed online tonight, Ty Emerson, Bangs, as you know, played a lot of PK time specifically with Matthias Ekholm in the regular season, and he was one of those guys that found a way to calm down the unit as the season progressed. But granted, PK was never actually that great. Dubes, is there any you can point to this and say, hey, that's something you can fix on the PK? Or do I just simply say, keep your sticks down and you got to keep it 5v5? Because the Oilers looked great, even strength against the Stars tonight.
Well, you got to keep it 5v5 first of all, because that's a great Dallas power play. I mean, they were great coming into this series. I think they were over 30%. So that's one thing that you have to understand. It's not just the Oilers PK, but you, as the Oilers, you have to understand that you got to stay out of the box. And so back to back penalties when things are going off the rails is not going to do the job. Now, the difficult part with this penalty kill thing is like, this is quite obviously their system and how they're into killing penalties. So at this point, I don't think you can just flip a switch and go to a completely different system. Like that's hard to do, because as everyone knows, penalty killing, everybody needs to be on the same page. You need all 4 guys and the goalie to know what's happening out there and to be working together. But I just the running, the switches and the movement of the forwards up top, I feel is just creating too much. It's too easy for the team to move the puck to the flanks up top and then open up those seams to go across. Those plays are going to happen and teams are going to make them, but it just seems to happen over and over and over to Edmonton, where it's almost nothing really happens to create these seams other than they just like win a draw, move it over, move it up, and then they go into this big skating swing where the forwards are crisscrossing and they're switching, and then it just goes to flank and across, and it just seems to happen out of nothing. Whereas other teams, like we've said, you've seen them play against the Oilers where they know it's a great power play and they're really just structured and holding on to that middle. So if anything, I'd like to see less forward switches up top and less movement, and keep it a little structured and force them to take shots that they don't want to take, and don't give them these opportunities. They were great plays. That was good quick puck movement by Dallas. I thought the Granlund goal as well. It was kind of a textbook how to relieve pressure, pop it to the middle, pop it up top, pop it over, and he makes a great shot as well. But pick what you want to give up and what you don't. And right now, I just feel like they're giving up too many good scoring chances that they don't really need to. The other team isn't really having to work for them that hard. They just seem to, NHL players making tape-to-tape passes. They're gonna do it. We're in the 3rd round, so like that's kind of seems all they're doing to earn these opportunities, and then they're executing on them. And I don't know. I think you got to buckle down a little bit and get some shot blocks, but also just like somebody's got to go out there and step up and shut it down. Like 3-2, okay. 3-3. All right, now somebody's like, you got to find a way to kill the penalty. I realize there's more to it than that, but at the same time, there's not. At some point, you're bleeding right here. You deserve to be winning this hockey game. You're better than the other team. You've been better than the other team the whole game. You're throwing it away. Somebody needs to go on the ice and stop the bleeding, and they didn't. It just kept going out on the ice, and nobody had an answer.
Doobie, you were talking in the pregame of things you wanted to see on the Oilers' power play. What did you like about their power play tonight, and what are things that you still think they could work on based on tonight?
I like that they scored, but that's not really you can't really talk about the power play on that one. It was just puck went to Nuge, you made a fantastic shot. But obviously they do a good job getting the zone entry. This is just the skill that's fun to watch. Obviously, McDavid flying this pickup by Draisaitl, like it's not easy to do what he did. It was a hammered pass. I mean, that could easily just blow up off his stick and go in the zone. But it's Draisaitl, so he handles it and it turns into a goal. But I like the possession a little bit. I didn't hate. Listen, I like the little 6-on-5 they had for a minute when they were waiting for the penalty to be called. In the 3rd period, they were moving the puck around nice, but I still would like some hammers coming down the middle. again, I would just I want to see it, but they've got to be in motion to get that. Obviously you need to be at the blue line. You need to be up top because you have to stretch the zone out. You have to use your space. But I just would love every once in a while them setting up a play where they get moving and Bouchard, they're always looking for Bouch, but comes out high and then gets a couple strides skating downhill, and you pop it to him and let him lean on it. It's not a hard play for the Oilers. Like they can make crazier plays than that, but I just like to see them incorporate that just a little bit, especially at the start, to get things going and get things opened up. Get the PK tired, then you can have your fun, because it'll be a lot of fun for them if they get those guys gassed or one of them on one leg because they decided to step in front of a Bouch bomb.
True. One positive, got our first road power play goal of the postseason for the Edmonton Oilers. You got to start with one. And I guess, Dubes, I kind of mentioned it briefly off the top there, but momentum, right? The swings that come in a series, the swings that come in the events of a hockey game. So tonight we saw it, the second period, the Oilers dominating. That building is quiet. The third period comes around. You can feel the momentum go on Dallas' side. Give their building credit. Give their fans credit. They were standing on their feet. They were obnoxious. Some of those guys keep putting their hands up, and it keeps getting in the camera angle at points during the game. My God, that pisses me off. Figure that out, Sportsnet. But I want to ask you, Dubes, what's it like as bubble hockey's going nuts over here inside this bar right now, but what's it like to be on the bench, be the goaltender, be on a team when you can feel the momentum slipping away throughout the game? You know that you are bleeding, but you can't find a way to clot that bleed, I will say. Obviously, the Oilers self-inflicted gunshot wounds because they're taking their own penalties, but there was something I just asked Brett privately, and I said, did the Edmonton Oilers use their timeout in this hockey game? And I believe the answer is no, that they did not. So I'm curious, from a player's perspective, as now a veteran who watches this, should Nobby have used his timeout at some point? And what's it like to be on the bench when you can feel that your team is bleeding and you got to find a way to stop the bleeding?
Yeah, I'm not sure on the timeout one, just because they were PK goals. Like, that's the thing. There's so many positives in this game, right? It wasn't like all of a sudden Dallas took over. Like they really didn't. At no point in time did Dallas take over this game. And so I think when it comes to timeouts, that's when you take a timeout, right? Is like when a couple goals go in and now you're turning the puck over and there's just waves coming at you and like everything's falling off the rails. It's like you got to take a breath, calm things down a little bit, especially when you're on the road because the crowd's building up and everything. Didn't really, I mean, I don't know. Maybe when if anything, it'd be, I would say when you take the penalty and it's 3-3, because that was just like places going nuts and you didn't. I mean, anybody watching, I don't know about you guys, was like, well, shoot, we're gonna have to come back in this one because this is like auto goal against. And sure enough, it didn't take long. So maybe there, but I don't know. I'm not like, again, just having fun with it now, but. It is a crazy thing. I mean, that's one thing as a goalie is like it's the one time you get a chance to like do something that you're not just purely reacting to. Is like, this is your job to like shut this down, and you shut it down also by being in control, making some saves, holding on to pucks, freeze as many pucks as you can, slow it down as much as you can. That's your ability to calm things down and just get the crowd kind of calmed down. If you start diving around in there and flailing around and making everything look crazy, that's just going to add to that momentum. So, that's something I took pride in, being a bigger guy, a positional guy, when things started to get out of hand, is like, if you can make a scoring chance look like nothing and hold on to a rebound and just kind of like put a pin in it for a little bit and let the thing calm down, you can do that. But it's a crazy, crazy thing. When I was in Colorado, and we were playing Vegas in the second round. We won game one like 7-1. Like it was a beatdown. And then we won game two, and we didn't really deserve to win game two. And then we went to Vegas, and you could kind of like feel the things, like you could feel that momentum shifting, and it just slowly went. And then all of a sudden we had like we had the best D-core I've ever played with. Couldn't make a pass. It was like everything just fell off the rails. There was so much momentum. We're in Vegas. It's so loud. It was just like nothing went right. It was like one pass missed. then, and everybody's going out there trying to change this momentum, and you just can't. And it's just the weird thing about sports. But like I said, on a positive note, I didn't feel like that was the way the game went today, because I still felt like Edmonton got scoring chances after. I didn't think they were as good as the first two periods. But I don't know. I don't have a bad feeling. Maybe I want to, because I feel like the first two periods where everyone was just like, "Oh, this is going to be easy." It's not.
I feel incredibly positive after this hockey game. Obviously, that sucks. It leaves a horrible taste in your mouth, but there's plenty to be optimistic about. We've been negative enough here. Let's turn this up with some positivity here. Dudes, Evan Bouchard continues. You were on Oilers Nation every day, I believe, 2 days ago, and Tyler asked you about the evolution of Evan Bouchard's game and how he's actually able to just snap his fingers and be an incredible playoff performer. He's now 37th already all-time in defenseman scoring in the NHL playoffs. I thought he was very, very good tonight. Obviously scored a beautiful goal where one goes on his tape and I'm screaming, shoot that puck as quick as possible. But he corrals it, shows the skill, finds the corner, picks it, and snipes that one on Jake Ottinger. I thought he had a very good hockey game tonight. And the other guy, Zachary Martin-Hyman. The dude had 12 hits again tonight. It was a trivia question tonight at Greta. He had 78 hits coming into this hockey game, which was 10 more than second place in the NHL playoffs. I thought Bush was solid. I thought Hyman was solid. What do you think of those two guys' game? And then afterwards, I want to ask you about 97 and 29, because they looked like men possessed, and I think that's something after this terrible result and what happens. I think 97-29 are going to be motivated. But first, Bouchard, Hyman, any other positives besides 97-29 you want to talk about or you thought played well tonight?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, with Bouchard, it's that he needed to just get that level of urgency up just a little bit and just get rid of just the sloppy, just kind of, it was with him, it's careless, right? His skill level is phenomenal. He's a smart player. He's a good skater. He's got all these things. It's just when you watch him in the regular season and then at the start of the LA series, when you're just like, which is why it drives people nuts, because they know how good he is. And it's just carelessness. It's like, dude, it's playoffs. Like, just crank up the intensity, like just a little bit. You don't have to be a psycho, but you got to like start creeping closer to psycho than somebody who doesn't care. And I think he's at a perfect level right now. Ever since when he started scoring, he didn't just start to score. He's their best defenseman now. He's their best defenseman in both ends of the rink, and because he defends, and then he also is extremely good at moving the puck up to the forwards. So he's been incredible. He scared me a couple of times tonight. He got a little loose when it was almost like things felt a little too easy, and I think Boosh started to feel like it was a little too easy, and he gave us a couple. Gave me a couple jump scares there, but it never turned into a scoring chance or anything. But he's been fantastic. Hyman's the best. I mean, because he gets so many scoring chances in games too, and he doesn't. But he's different than like McDavid and Draisaitl, obviously, where you can see it all coming. It's just like Hyman's so skilled, but he's so gritty, and he's always around the front of the net. I mean, he hit the bar heavy in the first period, but he's just always there. Puck comes to him, he's always in front of the net on point shots. And then, like you said, it doesn't, even when he's not getting scoring chances, he's one of these, every time he's on the ice, because somebody's stapled into the glass or laying on the ice. And he's fun to watch every single time he goes out there. But then he'll mix in like 4 or 5 scoring chances in the game. So he's awesome, and he's been a huge part. And then again, going on to Connor, I texted him Bordzy. I was like, it's nice to feel smart when I said these guys are going to be all flying out there when they've got the shackles off from Jack Eichel, and holy smokes was McDavid ever flying. So, and he looked pissed at the end of the game too. So I didn't think that Dallas would be capable of stopping that. They certainly, I mean, he didn't score, but as far as like stopping, like not being able to clog the neutral zone up and not being able to eliminate his time and space like Vegas did, and they couldn't. And it was fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to continuing to watch that. Because I think he's going to be coming out pissed off next game.
He had the wheels going from the get-go in this hockey game. From his very first shift, he burned Esa Lindell almost instantly. We joked because Cody Ceci was his partner on the opposite defenseman there, and he probably went, fuck, I'm glad that wasn't me, man, because 97 was going to make anybody look silly in this hockey game tonight. And We all remember it was a couple years ago. Can't remember, but it was the McTap when Dry and Connor, they were losing. It was like the 2-9-1. They gave each other the tap. I believe it was against Carolina.
Yep.
That kind of looked like I was just jerking off Pangs a little bit. That's my bad. Hands up. But they'd had that, and then they kind of turned around the season from there. Pangs, look at that one right there. They're calling it the McDry glance. They're shooting a look to each other. They're going to be highly, highly motivated. Take all the overs on 97-29 in game 2. Brett, you got a question?
Doobie, you mentioned the end of the game there. We saw that whole little scrum. Perry giving the turtle to Liam Bixell, who, by the way, is 6'8". Like, you're fighting a 40-year-old, you 20-year-old kid. Like, wake up. But what do you think of that little fight back, I guess, of sorts at the end there by the Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, that's playoff hockey, right? That's, if that's a regular season game, that's not going to happen. But it's important. These are all different parts of a series, and the momentum and things that you're leaving. Like, it was obviously an extremely disappointing third period for Edmonton, and Perry's a veteran guy. He knows to go out there and he wants to do something. He wants to piss him off. He wants to just show the emotion, show the pushback, and show the fight, and then they're not just going to curl up and walk back to the dressing room after getting thumped for 5 in the third period. That's a veteran guy going out there knowing that at any time throughout the playoffs, any chance you get, you have to add something. You have to add the motivation, the pushback, that grit, and that's just I would have been surprised not seeing something like that at the end of that third period the way it went.
I think that's entirely why Corey Perry is on the ice at the end of the game in that situation. You send a message, hey, you got this one, but we're going to come at you in game 2, and I think this series is going to get a little bit nasty the more that it moves along, as they always do. I guess my question next one, you Dubes, and then we'll let you go. Also, only 10:45 Central Time for you right now?
I'm awake right now.
Dude, this is crazy. It's not even 10 p.m. over here in Edmonton, which Brett means we can probably stay here, have a couple of suds after this one tonight to try and decompress after whatever that was in the third period. Just Dubes saying 5 unanswered goals in the third period. Oh, that makes me feel dirty and gross. I need to go home and take a shower. But heading into game 2, is there any changes you would make? Brett, I want you to kind of make this poll because we brought it up and I see some people in the chat talking about it. Would you make maybe an Emberson for Stetcher switch on the back end? We're talking about the PK not being very good so far these playoffs. That's one of Emberson's better areas. Is there any change, any manipulation you would make to the lineup before we head into game 2 here? Because I'm curious. I'd be interested in seeing Ty Emberson. Also, Nobby's been very verbally committed that he doesn't want guys sitting out for very long stretches throughout these NHL playoffs. He wants a game here. He wants a game there. Is that something you'd consider?
I like that. I mean, I thought he was playing extremely well. And they, the way the Vegas won series, Vegas was a different series, and they wanted to have a different look. But I thought he was playing great. He's what you're going to get from him. He's a big boy. He kills penalties, which, hey, they need something changing there. So that might be a good look. But I don't mind that look. Do you bring Arvidsson back in? I mean, not that you. I mean, Cheeks has scored the goal. It wasn't overly noticeable tonight. Wasn't bad by any means. But there's nothing wrong with guys coming in. Like Coach said, he doesn't want guys sitting for a super long time. And I think with Arvidsson, last series was such a big, heavy series where there was just no room, nowhere to move. And so I like the move to get a little size and a little something different. But this could be a time to let Arvidsson slide back in even for a game and just see what he's got, because obviously there's a lot more offense going back and forth up the ice and a little more room in the offensive zone for Arvidsson to move around. I mean, he's a good hockey player and he can contribute offensively too. So it'd be interesting to see if he gets back in.
Yeah, the other one, I guess you could say, like, the depth of the Edmonton Oilers has been the story of these NHL playoffs so far. Now, it's only one game. It's only 60 minutes. You don't want to ever read too much into something like that. But I would say tonight, the depth not as apparent as it has been in other games. This was more of a 97-29 kind of driving the offense. I would say also Trent Frederick, that puck on his stick.
Oh, my God.
Slots in the third period. just gift wrapping you a chance to get back in this hockey game and just be a legendary Edmonton Oiler. Dubs, what was your reaction to that one? Because he just straight up fanned on that puck in the dead slot, wide open.
Yeah, I was a little bitter and sarcastic on it too. He's missed the net a little too much for me this playoff, so I was like, oh my God, you would have missed the net anyway. It's okay.
See, that's the one where I'm curious. Maybe because, like, with the Connor Brown, we had talked about Arvidsson taking his spot on pregaming today, but that's because Brownie was banged up. Brownie ain't coming to the lineup for me if he's healthy. What he does on the PK, way too valuable. The speed he brings, way too valuable. So if you're talking about a Victor Arvidsson, where would he come in? Who would he replace? I love Trent Frederick's physicality. I really, really do. But you look at it a night like tonight, he played 8 minutes and 7 seconds. He had one shot. He had 4 hits. I think that guy could maybe be the odd man out. I don't know, Pangs, would you make any changes?
You know what? I never thought of that until you mentioned that. You know what?
Because it sucks to say.
It does. And you know what? He's a big body in the lineup. And I think against the Dallas Stars, you need that. They got some big defensemen there. So I think Trent Frederick is an asset in that regard. However, I think today he did move a little bit more slowly. And, hey, maybe send a message of, hey, you got to bury that. Or you got to get a shot on net if you get a good scoring chance like that. I like that, what you said. Trent Frederick for Arvidsson.
I do think, and it was very apparent last year's Western Conference Finals, where I said that series just lived in the neutral zone. It was a speed back and forth, 2 elite offenses. If you turn the puck over, holy shit, you better back check hard because there's some skill going the other way. Part of me thinks that's more of a Victor Arvidsson style than obviously a bang and crash Trent Frederick, but I don't get paid to make decisions like that. I only get paid to ask my pal Devan Dubnyk questions. Doobie, we love you. We appreciate you. Also, there's a new episode of Ask Doobie that dropped earlier today right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel. Dubes, I don't know if do you read the comments? Let me just ask that one straight up. Do you ever read the comments on the Instagram clips or on the YouTube video itself?
No, I haven't seen the Instagram clips actually. It's kind of weird watching yourself, so I don't really like. I've watched a couple of them just because I think it's really cool. I think Reese does a great job producing them. I think it's super cool. But it is kind of weird watching yourself to just like sit down and watch the whole thing. But no, I steer clear of the comment section. I've always done that. Obviously, playing is like the good never outweighs the bad. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll say something stupid one day, and somebody will have something negative. But I've heard they're very positive, and I appreciate it. It makes me feel really good that just Edmonton was a very important time in my life, and as much as we weren't winning hockey games, it still holds very close to my heart, and so it's fun to hear that everybody is being so positive to the show because it's been a lot of fun.
Get emotional over here. Got a couple things out of that. One, Dubes, we fucking love you. You are the best. Thank you so much for joining us on pre and post as much as you do, and on ONE. The second thing, I'm going to need you to follow me on Instagram. If you do so have Instagram, if we're going to be best friends, I need to have that happen.
Idea.
And the third one was going to be, you should read the comments because they are so, I agree with you. I hate watching clips of myself. I hate scrolling through Instagram and hearing my own voice. I am gone.
The voice thing too. The voice thing's weird too.
I don't ever want to do that, which is crazy because I host 2 shows. You think I get used to that at some point? Don't know if you ever will. But Dubes, the comments, they want you to be the goalie coach. They want you to join Oilers Nation full time. They just want you to be a part of their lives. So we thank you and we appreciate you for joining us tonight on pregame and postgame. And we will talk again on Friday night, Dubes, where if that game goes the way that we want it to, something tells me I'm going to have a very difficult job trying to hear you inside this bar on Friday night because it's loud even right now on a Wednesday. Dubes, we love you. We appreciate you. Sleep tight.
We'll do night, guys.
There he is, Devan Dubnyk, brought to you by Jasper, or Tourism Jasper. Also, while we're here, let me give a shout out to Budweiser right now. They've been brewing Bud in Edmonton for 45 years right now, and they've now partnered up with Edmontonian Mark Messier. We even got to interview him on Oilers Nation every day. They've got the beautiful Edmonton cans available in the city. And come on, people, this Bud is for you. Pangs, Dubes never disappoints. He's fantastic. And after a game like that where you kind of collapse, emotions can be very high in this chat, obviously. Love having Dubes to kind of, hey, am I a little emotional for thinking this way? What do you kind of think? I love bouncing things off of him and him being like, yeah, no, that's a good point, Bordzy. Also, he did text me during and said, feels great to be right that the middle of the ice is opened up for 97 and 29. I've been wrong so much lately. I said, get used to it, brother. Let's go now. Let's painfully relive this one. We'll do it quickly, but the Greta scoring summary brought to you by Greta Bar Yeg, my humble abode. And hey, the vibes through 40 minutes, this bar was electric. We did trivia after 40 minutes. The whole bar was cheering, competing around, screaming. All kinds of prizes were given out. Then it all kind of fell apart, as Doobie mentioned, 5 unanswered goals, but that doesn't stop Greta from being an incredible vibe. Arcade, bar, street food, the dance floor is still going right now. The drinks still pouring, and Brett, we might need to get a couple beer pong games in just to kind of get me feeling back and normal again. Dead sober tonight, so I'm probably gonna suck at beer pong. Actually, the more that I think about it, let's kick it off here. First goal of the hockey game, and it is the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid executing a spinorama of sorts, is able to send the puck over to one. Darnell Nurse drops it for a Leon Draisaitl, who drives wide, takes it into the middle of the ice, and beats Jake Ottinger blocker side. Beautiful way to start a hockey game. 10 minutes into it, Pangs. We're feeling good. Don't have a lot of confidence in game ones, but they were looking good before this. And then, as we said, 97 and 29, we're on a different level tonight. This just showed it. Leon Draisaitl is now played in 16 career game ones. He has scored 15 goals in those game ones. Why didn't I bet on that one?
Pretty good. Yeah, before they scored this goal, they were absolutely buzzing. Connor McDavid came out, just shot out of a cannon. And this, the thing that really sticks out to me that he's feeling it is that spinorama at the blue line. Like, it's kind of a dangerous play to be spinorama when there's no one there to back you up, but he made it. And puck gets to Darnell Nurse, who finds Leon Draisaitl. And this shot, you're walking down, and he just picks it. So what a great goal by Leon Draisaitl.
So you talk about stick handling around the blue line, you don't have support behind you, and how that can sometimes go the wrong way. Well, that leads me to the first Dallas Stars goal of the game, as Leon Draisaitl loses the puck at the blue line, trying to make a play here with John Klingberg. It's an awkward one. He's double pressured. And before you know it, Tyler Seguin skates into that one. He might be older, doesn't have the greatest boots. He had enough right there. And a guy like that, we talked about it, he's been held off the score sheet for much of these NHL playoffs. You give a perennial goal scorer like Tyler Seguin an opportunity like this, he's going to find a way more often than not to get that goal. Stuart Skinner kind of falls back awkwardly, squeaks through low glove on that one. But yeah, I mean, we saw it there with Connor McDavid. You live by the sword, you also die by the sword here. Tough one for Leon. I thought he was awesome, so he's allowed to have plays like this. You live by the sword, die by the sword. What'd you think here?
Yeah, offensive guy, Leon Draisaitl is. He's trying to make a play. Unfortunate for him, he loses the puck. He kind of puts John Klingberg in a bad position there, gets caught flat-footed. It was a great goal by Tyler Seguin. I want to say I thought that maybe that could have affected John Klingberg's game, but overall, no, it didn't. I think the rest of the game, John Klingberg had a heck of a game. So.
Solid as a rock, I could say about our boy John Klingberg. Continue along here as we get to the second period, where the Edmonton Oilers would finally score a road power play goal, as it's Ryan Nugent Hopkins on the power play, scores a beauty. It's McDavid. You'll see it here as the play progresses. He's going to end up with the puck down low, and then tries to throw it back up front to Corey Perry. Takes a bounce off either one or two Dallas Stars sticks and ends up directly on the tape of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who doesn't go low blocker right in front of Jake Ottinger, decides to go glove side, which, Brett, you pointed out a lot as this game continued to evolve. I believe all 3 goals were blocker side on Jake Ottinger. We talked on ONE 2 days ago, got the scouting report that glove side might be the answer. Beautiful goal here from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. First road power play goal in a while, but once again, kind of lucky that that puck just ends up on Nugent's stick. But I will not apologize. You got to be good to be lucky. You got to be lucky to be good.
You literally took the words that I was about to say to intro that power play goal. But yeah, you got to be good to be lucky to be good, because they got a fortunate bounce there. The one thing I like about Nugent Hopkins on this play is that he didn't dust it off. He just loaded his stick, picked the spot, and absolutely buried it. And I think for Nugent Hopkins, that's good that he got a goal early. He hasn't scored since Game 6 against LA, so it's good he's on the board. Last year he scored a couple goals. So I think maybe he's got Ottinger's number.
Yep, and this one's obviously on the power play. And I thought that top line of Nuge, 97, and Zachary Hyman were very, very good. Continue along where I said it was Nuge, and then it was Boosh. So on this one, you got to give credit to the man, Vasily Podkolzin. He doesn't actually end up with a point on this play because the assists go to Nuge and Leon Draisaitl. Nuge here takes his time, sends it over to Bouchard. I'm freaking out on the inside that you are not unleashing the Bouch bomb there, but the pass wasn't perfect, had to corral it. And then he takes his time, walks in a little bit, locates his spot, and Bouchard, hey, that's a $10 million shot right there, baby. Not many people can do that one in the NHL. Plenty of time and space. Rips it right over Ottinger's glove, which, Brett, once again, was an area that the Oilers were trying to take advantage of. This is a beautiful goal from Evan Bouchard. He's known for the Bouch bomb, the slap shot, that clap bomb, whatever term you want to use, but he's still got a deadly wrister when he's got time and space.
Whenever Evan Bouchard gets the puck that close, I think we're all like, rip it, rip it, rip it. I love that he took time on here. And I want to give a stat on this this goal here. So in the pregame, we talked about Jake Ottinger. He's given up 16 goals right in front of the net. The second most goals he's given up is exactly in that area. He's given up 5 in that spot. Now make it 6. I feel for the Oilers, that's a spot they need to expose for Jake Ottinger. Maybe he just doesn't get into good positions there, but look for that spot for the Oilers to shoot from because that's the second most area where Jake Ottinger gives up goals.
So it's a 3-1 hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers. We're heading into the third period, where I guess they just canceled the rest of the game because we don't have any more highlights after that point. I don't know how that works. I'm checking the website. Apparently the Edmonton Oilers collapsed. Apparently they allowed 5 goals in succession in that third period. I don't know. Couldn't be me. I'm not going to lay eyes on any of that. We did it with Devan Dubnyk. Let's not do that again because I think a lot of people, normally I make them pay up with Super Chats. I realize I'm the one who makes the decisions here. Let's not do that. Let's save a little bit of everybody's eyes. We know several power play goals against. It's Heiskanen, then it's Granlund, then it's Duchesne, then it's Seguin, and then it's Esa Lindell with an empty net goal as the Edmonton Oilers lose by a score of 6-3. The over was a lock from day one, but I thought it would have been the Edmonton Oilers that had the majority of the goals in this one. Let's go now to the good, the bad, and the oily, brought to you by Oodle Noodle. Download their app today, and when you download the app, when you download the app from the App Store or the Google Play Store, you sign up, new customer, new member, you get 1,500 customer loyalty rewards points, which is $15 in real value. Basically, it's a free Tokyo Glaze box right there, courtesy of our fearless leader, Jay Downton. Brett, let's kick it off. Let's go positive. Let's go with the good. And you went with the second period. I keep mentioning it. The American Airlines Arena, I do believe is what they call that building. It was quiet. You could hear a pin drop in that building. The Oilers scored 2 goals. It's the Nuge one on the power play, and then Bouchard, a minute 40-something seconds later, that stretch right there had everybody inside Greta Barriere on cloud 9. I'm not allowed to say on the show, but as I always say, Greta gives out lots of special surprises. And about that size of form that I guess you could throw back, some might even say. So this bar starts being electric. The second period was electric, man. They dominated in that period. I thought they were fantastic. Just trying to check the shots. Shots were only 9-7, but I felt it was more for the Edmonton Oilers. The good, the great was that second period. It was having a 2-goal lead, Panger.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just checking at the advanced stats on that. For the Oilers, the scoring chances were 11-5 for them. They dominated. At one point, they were rolling all 4 lines. They're hemming the Stars in the Dallas zone. I was at the point where I was going to get my bill early just to clear up because I'm like, we got this in the bag. And then all of a sudden the dreaded third period happens and just changed everything.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Brett, are we kicking people out of the chat right now?
It's not me.
I see Liam. See Liam's in the chat right now. Liam?
I'm taking hands off.
Liam, you go nuts, brother. You do whatever you need to do.
All you, boss.
We're going to do so respectfully, but thank you for the subscription to anyone who is trying to troll the chat right now. With good comes bad. A couple options here for the bad. We went with blowing the lead, and I guess to add on to that, I wish I would have put / the penalty kill, because obviously the Dallas Stars power play goes 3 for 4 this evening, meaning the Oilers PK went 25%. They've already been pretty bad so far in these NHL playoffs. They came into this game tonight 66.7%. that's going to go down even more. We've seen the Oilers PK struggle at points in the regular season. Remember the beginning of the regular season? Holy shit, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. They couldn't stop anything. It's kind of improved at points in the year, and right now, when you need it the most. And let's remember, last year's postseason run, the PK was a crucial part in beating the Dallas Stars specifically, and then moving along to the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7 of the Cup Finals. What the Oilers kill off, 26, roughly, whatever it was, consecutive penalties in a row. Right now, it feels like they're going to allow 28 consecutive power play goals against. The bad is blowing the lead, but the most important part in blowing that lead was the penalties. And being down a man so many times in that third period. The bad, blowing the lead. The bad, the penalty kill. The bad, taking too many penalties. Dealer's choice, Pangs, whatever you want.
Yeah, and listening to Doobie's analysis of it, especially I believe it was on the first one where there's 4 guys lined up, I think about that, and none of the 4 Oilers touched that puck. What they might need is a little bit more desperation. You got your depth players. You have Connor Brown up there blocking shots. You have Janmark up there blocking shots. I don't know. Maybe they thought they turned into goal scorers that they didn't need to do the greasy things like get in front of a puck with intention on the penalty kill. So to me, when he said the Oilers need to stop the bleeding on the penalty kill, desperation. Block a shot. Block a damn shot. Get in front of it with intention.
Doobie was so right. That game was going way too well. We should have known. I even sent a text to one of my buddies and was like, I'm having a really good time here tonight. Dead sober. I'm having one of the best times I've had at Greta in a while. And then bang, it goes back down. Now, still had a good time at Greta Barriag. Also, some of these chirps that are going down in the chat right now, you guys can't see it because you're not in Facebook right now, but this Brandon Baker fellow is just they're the least creative chirps I've ever seen. Where was this one? I lost it. You know what? That's okay. We don't even need to get into it. Love you guys. Thank you for the subscription. With good comes bad. With bad comes oily. For oily, we went with. It's only game 1. As I mentioned, there is plenty of positive things to be happy about in this hockey game. The Oilers looked really good. 97-29 looked insane. Zach Hyman continues to play physical. Evan Bouchard was great. John Klingberg looked awesome. Stuart Skinner looked solid-ish, I would say, for the first half of that hockey game, and then obviously falls apart a little bit. But once again, you have to remember about the team in front of them. And when the team's down and out in front of them, you tend to get scored on. It's only one game. I'm going to be smashing Oilers' money line in game 2, responsibly, of course, on Bet365. Friday night, the Oilers were dominating for stretches in this hockey game. And people, if you've been here throughout the regular season, you know me. When we lose, I get in my loser bag. You head on over to moneypuck.com. The deserve to win-o-meter tonight, 65.8% in favor of the Edmonton Oilers, 34.3 for the Dallas Stars. Obviously, bet the Trolls have a fucking field day with that one right now, but there's plenty to be optimistic about, plenty to be happy about in this game.
Absolutely. Again, we had comparable notes that said buzzing. These boys were buzzing. They just were in total control. Connor McDavid was doing Connor McDavid-like things, and then we were just rolling lines and hemming the Dallas Stars in and just wearing them down. And then all of a sudden, 3 power plays, 3 bad power plays, and then the game absolutely changes. I think in next game, and it might feel like doom and gloom right now, but you know what? If the Oilers go 1-1 in the first 2 games, that's fantastic. Head back to Edmonton, and you got 2 games to play. You could get up 3-1. I think moving forward with the Oilers, I think they haven't played in a week, and they could say, hey, you know what? Let's get back to the things that we're doing. Getting in front of pucks, attention to detail, not be careless with our sticks. Those are things that the Oilers can take into next game.
Yep, I agree. Lots and lots to be positive about here. I'm seeing Bella. It's an away game 1. We're just getting ready to ramp up. We know the Edmonton Oilers in games 4-7, and yeah, lots to be optimistic about. Before we move along to our boom and doom, actually, and I can't confirm these rumors, but I am quite certain that Friday night at Greta Barriag, I'm going to be throwing out Will Hawk beef jerky to people inside this bar right now because that is some of the best munch in the game.
So good.
Shout out to willhawkbeefjerky.com. Come on, they're fantastic. Check their website or their Leduc location where they exclusively are selling their jerky, sausage, other products. It's some of the best munch in the entire game. I love some jerky, too, during a stressful Oilers game. You can't see me behind here, but you're like biting into it like a dog. You're just a rabid beast. No, Brett. Don't single me out. Don't let him see what I look like. And now I eat beef jerky. But shout out to Will Hawk. They are awesome. And to get your beef jerky on, head on over to willhawkbeefjerky.com. Now, also, let's do our boom and dooms. Everyone in the chat, we've been a little bit negative. Why don't we bring the boom? I know one, Zachary Martin Hyman brought the boom, and that is brought to you by Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day, perfect for every single day of the week. If it ends in Y, you should be drinking an Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. I can officially say, through 2 rounds of the NHL playoffs, I have successfully deleted 2 flats of Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. I have yet to pick up my 3rd case, so I should probably do that. And I was about to say something that might jinx something. So no, I'm only going to pick up 1 case per round. And hopefully we can get some more in round number 4. People, if you're new here, we love the Costco guys. So throw in your booms. Who brought the boom tonight? And then who brought the doom as well? Pangs, you're my guest. Brett, if you got one as well, I'll let you go. But Pangs, who do you think brought the boom tonight?
I'm going to give it to someone not so obvious. I'm going to give it to John Klingberg.
Nice.
He's playing his former team, the Dallas Stars, and as mentioned in the pregame, this could have been kind of like a redemption series for John Klingberg. I feel he was playing really good tonight, highly motivated. He got caught on the first goal against, but he had a stellar game. He was making excellent passes. In over 18 minutes, he got 14 scoring chances, 4 and 7 against. So he was doing really good, and he was toe dragging on that last.
That was nasty.
The Trent Frederick chance in front. It was John Klingberg toe dragging to Trent Frederick. He's doing everything he can to keep the Oilers into this game. John Klingberg is my boom.
Bert, what about you, brother?
John Klingberg was actually going to be mine.
Nice. Hey, let's double down.
But no, I will also shout out, I think Jake Wallman had a good game. Had that massive breakup on the back check there. Great stick, blocking shots as well. So I like Jake Wallman there. Who's the other one that I really liked as well? Don't remember. I'll give it to Jake Wallman.
I got 2 for you. So one, which I think kind of goes without saying, and we haven't really talked about enough in this hockey game. Brett, who do you think I'm about to say?
Sorry, I was going to say Podkolzin. I like Podkolzin's game tonight. Again, physical. Was playing with 97 as well, not only 29. So I like Podkolzin's game. Sorry, I derailed your thought.
Vasily Podkolzin brought the boom 7 separate times tonight. He had 7 hits in this hockey game. Now, the obvious one, Zach Hyman brought the boom 12 times in this hockey game, continues to lead the NHL in hits. But the real man who brought the boom in this hockey game, I thought, was Leon Draisaitl. He looked fantastic in this hockey game. Finishes with a 3-point night, 1 goal, 2 assists, involved in all 3 goals for the Edmonton Oilers. He had 4 shots on goal, had 2 hits as well. And I do think it's the beauty of Leon Draisaitl. He's a Swiss Army knife. I know we call Nuge that, but Leon is times 10 because he can be the defensive shutdown center in round 2, which was basically responsible for Jack Eichel putting up bagels in the final 2 games of that series. This one, we didn't know, would he be in that defensive shutdown role against Rantanen, Hintz, and Mikael Granlund, the all-finish line. Tonight, he had it rocking offensively. He was back-checking as well. Obviously, that first goal for Tyler Seguin, it's a breakaway off of a Leon Draisaitl turnover. I'd argue he makes way more good plays than bad ones like that. And if we're going to allow Evan Bouchard, if he makes that, come on, we're going to let Leon do it as well. And I'm sure he himself would even tell you he need to have that puck more under control. I'd go with Leon Draisaitl for a boom. And then also the other one, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had a goal and an assist in this hockey game. Say it with me, gentlemen. Nuge. Played 20 minutes, 50 seconds, 4 shots on goal, 1 block, 2 hits. But the Nuge was pretty damn consistent in this hockey game as well, which, as you mentioned, good sign moving forward, because in round 2 didn't have a ton of offense. I will say, don't really want to be negative, but if you've got a doom, throw it my way, Panger.
Yeah, I'm going to give it the doom to Leon Bichelle because he looked like a little Bichelle against Corey Perry at the end of the game there. He turtled, and I would have loved if you went with Corey Perry, like you said earlier. Corey Perry's like 40 years old. Leon Bichelle, 6'7", 6'8", and he didn't do anything. He just turtled. So, I mean, that's a bad look there, Bichelle. You little, just kidding.
All right. We got to put Doug Wade in the timeout because I just can't handle this. Good thing we got rid of all of our PK specialists, McLovin, McLeod, CC, and now he's stuck with this garbage PK. Doug, it's 1 game. Brother, We cannot keep doing this. If that's the regular season and you want to talk about McLeod and them, I'd still tell you to shut up, but we can't have that. You need a timeout for that. We just can't simply do that. Brett, do you have a doom? I'm going with Doug White and his negative attitude. Oh, sorry, your mic's not up.
Yeah, thanks. It makes me feel like I was 6 years old again, locked in the room. But anyways, no, my parents were great. Shit.
No, let's unpack that one. Let's unpack that one.
I mean, you could go a bunch of things. I'll be a little more specific, and I'm going to say Stuart Skinner in that third period. Somebody mentioned specifically, and again, I don't think Stuart Skinner played bad by any means. He made a lot of strong saves. But we talk about this throughout the entire playoffs where you need to make a big save, and specifically in the third period, and Stuart Skinner didn't make that big save. For me, it's just specifically Stuart Skinner in the third period.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, it's a cop-out. It was also Slash on the bad. The penalty kill. They brought the doom. My stomach sinks into my ass when the Edmonton Oilers take a penalty just because you know something bad is about to happen. You're full of anxiety. And then tonight, didn't even take them long on some of those power plays to find a way to find the back of the net. That will do it for your boom and your doom brought to you. Also, all right, Stuart Skinner's in. He says, I'll do better next time. I'm sorry, boys. So there we go. Also, Dougie, we love you. You're so negative all the time. It's exhausting to be around. I just can't do that. This show, Bordzy, we're about positivity. We're about bringing the energy, and I just can't. I'm like a white girl right now because I literally can't even right now. Now, if we're going to talk about something I also don't want to do right now, let's talk about Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You can bet on basically everything in these Stanley Cup playoffs. The Cup winner, series point leaders. How many goals do you get in said series? Money lines, puck lines, unders, overs. I'd never bet the under because life is too short to do that. And I hope you didn't bet the under on a night like tonight. And I also hope you didn't really follow Bordzy's Bankroll on a night like this. Brett, do we have it ready to go? I don't know if you actually do, but I can tell you that the options were having Bouchard to get 1+ point in this hockey game. That one, let's celebrate. That one did happen. 1+ point at -140 with a beautiful labeled wrist shot over the shoulder of one Jake Ottinger. Then Zachary Martin-Hyman, 1+ point, +100. Fortunately, that one does not happen. And then Stuart Skinner needed 23 saves total, I could say. Do you know how many he finished with?
22.
Finished with 22 saves on 27 shots for an .815 save percentage. The jokes kind of write themselves. If all the Stu trolls in the chat want to, I'll make it for you. What was I thinking betting on that one? But no, I believe in Stuart Skinner. I thought that line was a little low. I also said the Dallas Stars averaged 28 shots in the regular season. And what do you know? They shot 27 pucks in this game tonight. I will also say, and I did so responsibly, only betting what you're willing to lose. I was very confident in the Oilers' power play scoring a goal in this game. I thought they had 7 days to prepare for this. The power play was at 9% in the Vegas Golden Knights series. They're going to work on it. I bet all 6 Edmonton Oilers power play players to get a power play point. Well, you're in the plus when 3 of them register a point on the one goal, obviously, with Evan Bouchard. So that one, I think, I'd actually have to check. I think we're just barely in the positive or just barely in the negative. Bordzy's Bankroll basically stayed nice and even tonight because we love to play the game for the love of the game. Shout out Bet365 because whatever the moment, say it with me, it's never ordinary.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Pause it.
I was like, if he says the first word, I'll get it. Yeah.
There you go. Let's continue to move along. Let's give a shout out here to Boston Pizza, a staple in all of our lives, especially us Western Albertans, I could totally say. You're not a real city unless you have a Tim's and a Boston Pizza, and I stand by that. BP's, they say it this year, we bring it home, and there is only one Canadian team left in these NHL playoffs. 1 out of 4 left in the Final Four. So, hey, I say it all the time, Pangs. I don't know about you. There's plenty of room on the Edmonton Oilers bandwagon if you want to hop on. There's a seat here right in the middle between us if you'd like. If you want to be on the outside as well, if you want to hang with Brett. I also saw, Brett, somebody in the chat asked, hey, I'm from Calgary, and I want to come down for one of the weekend games. What should I do? You should try and reserve your table. But worst comes to worst, join the bandwagon, the Oilers Nation wagon. Come sit with us. Come stand with us. I think me and Brett stay on our toes for pretty much the majority of the hockey game. But shout out Boston Pizza. This year, we bring it on home. So I guess final question I kind of got for you, and I see it's in the chat here. So Calvin Pickard, still day-to-day, still out with an undisclosed injury. He stayed back in Edmonton because I see a lot of people in the chat right now talking about, could Calvin Pickard get the start in the next game? No, he physically can't because he's not even in Dallas. Texas has not crossed the border. So it will be Stuart Skinner again in that hockey game. I mentioned some of the changes I would maybe make. Brett, I'm always curious to, pick that brain of yours over there. Would you consider, because we talked about the PK being really bad lately, I think the move to bring in Ty Emerson is kind of clear as day for me here right now. Now, if Matthias Ekholm were to return as well, because that's the partner that MB played the majority of his minutes with on the PK this regular season. But I don't know. Would you Arvidsson in for somebody? Would you Emerson in for somebody, sir?
I don't know. The thing, you
They
mentioned
played really good in this game.
they did, and you specifically mentioned the penalty kill, and that's what Emerson is really, really specialized in, specifically in these playoffs. But man, I just don't know. Stetcher has had better games than he had tonight, and he's played very well with Darnell Nurse. I just don't see the net positive in bringing him in outside of being on the penalty kill. And again, you're kind of assuming that every game you're going to get 3-4 opportunities on the penalty kill. If not, then you're just playing 5 defensemen. And so I understand the ideal or the idea of it, but I don't think that it would be beneficial for this team.
I would have to check some more things here, and also you can just check Bruce Kurlock's tactical review article that will drop tomorrow on Oilers Nation every day. But he did have a tweet earlier today and was kind of pointing out during the game that he thought the Stars are going to target Troy Stetcher all series long. I thought Stetch is the Darnell Nurse whisperer, but I would say I didn't think he had his best possible game tonight. But once again, even if you don't make any changes, I do feel like the Oilers were the better team 5v5. They were definitely the better team 5v5 throughout this one. Don't make me refer to the deserve to win meter again. Also, Brandon in the Facebook chat. Oh, he's giving it to me right now, Brad. He's giving it to me. I'll try and find it for you, Pangs, as we do this. And I'll continue. Oh, Brett, you got some?
Yeah, it's hilarious how he's talking about the viewers on Facebook when you can see how many are going on right now. It's his world, baby. We're just living in it. And hey, if you didn't know, Brandon's laced them up. Holy shit. Let's give this guy a round of applause, everybody. Hey, the bar. You on the dance floor. Start clapping.
Hey,
That's my fucking hero.
there we go. Brett, that was fucking fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? Garage Superstore, where they make garage upgrades very easy, and accessories as well. They've got everything you need to organize, transform, and maximize your space. Shop online or in-store 3407 Calgary Trail, Northwest, South Edmonton, or visit garagesuperstore.ca. I will say a final message. I welcome the trolls, as long as you keep it respectful, as long as you don't say crazy shit, whatever, then yeah, dude, bring it in here. We can give it. We can take it. It's the best part about sports. I'm not actually out there on the ice. So we love you all in the chat. We appreciate it. Throw down your courtesy like on the way out. That includes you as well, Brandon. And we'll be live tomorrow right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel. Oilers Nation every day, coming at you right at 12:01 Mountain Standard Time. I do believe we are going to have Jeff Merrick join the program right at 12:05 Mountain Standard Time. He's got the sheet going live at 1 p.m., but he's still making time for us. Fantastic for him. Me, Tyler, Liam, breaking down everything that was and wasn't in tonight's hockey game. Brett, Panger, I love you. You guys are the best. Every one of you in the chat. Yes, even you, Brandon. Even you over there. We appreciate the viewership. And also, you help the analytics, even when you shit talk me in the chat as well. We love and appreciate you all, just like we do our sponsors. Everybody sleep tight. Deserve to win meter was 65% in the Edmonton Oilers' favor. Plenty to be optimistic about, and that just means Friday night. Get down here to Greta Barriag as the Edmonton Oilers look to even up the Western Conference Final against the Dallas Stars. And finally, before we do head out, I believe I have a couple more super chats in here. Austin said, does Dube change his hat and jacket, or is it super? Don't totally know what that means, but Soggy Corpse, He also has $2. Thank you for resorting the Mood Boys. Cop, yeah. And then, of course, the Sports Beard. Bordzy, never say anything bad about your voice, legend. Hey, I appreciate that very much. I had a teacher back in Nate that told me, Bordzy, I don't know if you'll ever make it because your voice is way too fucked up. I went, brother, that's a really mean thing to say to someone. I don't know if I can change that part. But either way, we love you. Appreciate the super chats. Everybody sleep tight. Tomorrow is a new day. The Edmonton Oilers, come on. They're sitting pretty in this series still. We know game ones. It's never been there. Never been their MO. It never will be. We love you. We appreciate you. Good night, everybody.